Hello everyone, I'm glad you're here. My name is Adjwoa, and I've been doing this YouTube thing for a minute here. This is a whole new chapter to a whole new thing that I'm trying to establish with my viewers here. So I'll be talking about different things, different subjects connecting to spirituality. So it's all meant to bond with you, show you and tell you things from my experience and also from knowledge base on what this whole spiritual journey is all about. And so I'll be talking about it and pulling these subjects into different areas, right, in our lives, and making it more meaningful, making it more practical, so that we can learn and share ideas, and you can get to know me a little bit more and I can get to connect with you guys more. I wish there's an interactive way we can get into this until YouTube puts me in the space where I can do that. So for now it's just me talking, and then eventually it's probably going to turn into something of a conversation, right, which is even better. So I'm gonna do this like a question answering thing for myself, so that I can stay on point and give you the points that I want to put out. Okay, so first I want to talk about how long I've been in this lifetime, how long it's been since I've been spiritually awoke. I would say since 2011. It started in 2010, actually, ending of 2010. By the time 2011, around February, it has grown full blown, where I was actually having the spiritual experiences after that. From that moment, from the 14th of February, it was like a whole year of spiritual awakening cycle that I went through. And what I can tell you, is that every month I experienced every sign. That's one of the main things that I can talk about, that I can connect with my audience with. So by the time I was done with my whole initiation, a whole year of spiritual awakening, I can almost say that I'm not my sign, because I truly feel everything of every sign. So I became more whole, I became more connected, and the whole understanding of that whole we are all one became more clear to me. I understood how the moon season was, the ups and downs and everything about the moon. So that's one main thing about the whole thing. But I just wanted to talk about that little part, so you guys can understand how long I have really started digging my hands in it in this lifetime. Before then, I know I was living my destiny, but I wasn't in charge of it. So it's a whole different ballgame once you go through the awakening, right? Because your soul takes the seat in your life and it writes it the way it's meant to write it. So it becomes a whole new thing. But before we talk about, I just wanted to touch base with how I started out. But before we get started, the whole thing that I want to talk about today really with you guys is the effects of spirituality on your personality as a person. That's what I want to talk about today. Before I even get into that, let's look at your personality in the first place. Your personality, to me, is of your mind, it's of your physical body, and it's of your soul. And within the soul, to me, lies the spirit. Okay, so I see it as the four basic, most powerful components of your being is these four elements that I talked about. Within the four elements, I feel like there's so many layers to it. Okay, now spirituality, it's like you asking me who's divine. It's like you asking me who's God. It's like you asking me, what is all of this? What is this reality? So it's a never-ending story. And when you add spirituality to your personality, you are basically saying that I'm on a quest to understand all of this, to understand this universe, to understand me, my role in this universe, how I came to be, why I'm here, what am I doing, what is the air, why is it there, why am I breathing, what is the purpose of it, why am I talking, why am I alive, why am I physical, why do I have other aspects to me? So this is a question that I don't think that anybody can ever answer straight up, because it is what we are uncovering. It is the life that we're living. So spirituality only opens you up to start uncovering and understanding all of your life and what it means to you as a person. Before spirituality, before you start connecting yourself to the spiritual understandings of this universe, you are basically like a car without a driver. This car is liable to hit anything, derail anyway, spin, other cars can hit it. Imagine a car driving itself on a road. It won't last. It crashes and then comes, and then what happens? Nothing. When you start understanding and start getting involved with your spirit, which is living in your soul, taking on this path, then you're saying, I want to sit in the car, which is life. The car represents life. And I want to drive the car. I want to understand the engine. I want to understand all the aspects of the car so that I can drive the car safely and sound to my destination and do all that I need to do along the way to get me where I need to get to. So then you start to prepare on all the things that you need before you even get in the car. So spirituality is you sitting in that seat and saying, I'm going to take my life into my hands and I'm going to start understanding and unraveling the mystery of this universe within me and outside of me that I'm projecting. So that's pretty much the beginning aspect of what I can, describe as the spirituality and personality coming together. It affects us on so many levels. But like I've already just explained, it is really about life and how you want to rule it and how you want to live it. Some people have become comfortable doing what they came to me, what mommy taught me, what daddy taught me, what the society is saying. I have to come here, I have to go to school, I have to do all this stuff. That's just how life is. And then some of us are like, we keep crashing. We just, we start rebelling as teenagers and we start questioning everybody's motives and why do I have to do that? Why I don't have to do that? I don't want to go to college, but I have to go to college. If I don't go to college, then I can't feed myself. If I don't do this, so then this life becomes filled with anxiety, fear, and fitting into what is, is set up for you. Of course, we need education, we need all this stuff, but I'm just saying, when these things start to become a problem all the way to the point where you feel like, you've lost yourself and you don't have any control of yourself, a lot of times that can lead you to a spiritual awakening. And if you've come over and over and over again, then it is more likely that you're going to wake up through any of these experiences that make you hit a wall and make you feel like, okay, something is missing. I am lost. I don't understand what is going on. This is not how my life is meant to be. A lot of people go through spiritual awakening because they don't like what they are doing, their jobs. Love life doesn't work. Heartbreaks turn them inside out. So their emotions hit them to the point that it puts them in a whole, sadness and misery, and then out of the darkness comes spiritual awakening. Some people just go through car crashes, and then suddenly they it come face to face with spirit, or their soul, or anything above the physical. There are so many ways that people can meet the spirit and how spirituality can affect you personally. But like for someone to literally get up and say, okay, I don't like the way I'm living, I don't like being told what to do, I don't like the way society puts so much pressure on me, where I get up literally living a life that is scripted for me. Who is God? Who is this person that supposedly created me, or a spirit that created me? What is this spirit's intentions for me? What am I doing here? All these questions that nobody has the answers to. No pastor has the answer to. They all reading a book they call the Bible, that supposedly was written by, inspired by this creator. And so it's supposed to have all the questions to your life and all the answers to your life. But at the end of the day, 99% of humanity, we're not really obeying even the instructions of the Bible. And we could have been calling ourselves Christians or anything like that at some point, because that's what majority of this society we came to meet: Christianity and Muslims and other spiritual forms. Before you break out into other forms of spirituality, ancestral worship and stuff, you have to be, like I said, probably been coming back a while, and been going through this awakening a while. So there's already that awareness. But for someone who's starting out, let's say if you just finally hit the wall and you're like, you don't like this, you want to be in charge of your life, you want to have understanding to who you are and all that, then it's a process that's going to turn you inside out. You are literally going to kill your ignorance. You are going to step into a world that would really have you looking at everything on so many levels than just the physical level. So it really affects you. Spirituality changes you. It allows. Now, before I get into this point, this next point that I'm going to talk about, I want to talk about how spirituality affects you on the chakra level, because your person is connected to your chakras. The chakras lay inside your what? Your being. Every level of the chakra, the 7 main ones, which is more, we have about 50 and over chakras in our bodies. But the 7 main ones, within them also have different levels in them. Probably about 7 in each chakra levels that you have to grow and learn and adapt and transform and shed negativity and grow. It's like an upgrade. The more you learn, the more you go up. The more you learn, the more you go up, and the more you open up to become this light being that you're meant to be. But what I'm gonna say is that 99% of humanity is functioning on the first, the lowest, and the physical and the earthly chakra, which is the root chakra, because that is the chakra that is controlling what? Your survival, your appearance, you having a home, your stability, being here on earth, surviving. What are people fighting for every day? You're going to school because you want to survive. You're married because you don't want to be alone. And it's also at this time in this life, most people get married because they want to have a partner that they can pay bills with and have sustainability in their home, become more stable, and also have children. So majority of humanity is living to survive. They are trying to make things and everything that they are doing to help them to become stable beings. At this point, from the solar plexus, which is the 3rd chakra, 2nd chakra, and the 1st chakra, it's all about your physical essence. Your soul has not set into this aspect of your body yet. That is why from that part down, it's connected to the earthbound and the physical aspect of your being. And from the heart chakra up, it is the mind, the soul, the spirit That's the dwelling space. So almost 90% of humanity is functioning on the lower chakras. So as you can see, people who are making great things happen, you know, building, you know, big businesses and all of this stuff, is all functioning from the third chakra down. Because the third chakra is controlling what? All of your ambitions, your goals, you know, wanting to do greater things and looking for the purpose that still is all connected to you being sustained and you surviving and having more than what you need and becoming rich. Is all connected to the low chakras. It is all earthbound. Until spirituality meets your spirit or meets your personality, that is how you function. All you think about is your career. That is your life purpose. Your life purpose is what? How am I going to make it? How am I going to, you know, survive? How am I going to become wealthy? How am I going to find that love? And let me tell you something. Until you are working spiritually and your spirituality makes your physical body, your love is based on your desires and what the person can do for you and how they can make you feel sexually and also fulfilled in your physical, financial, and all the other needs. If you be honest with yourself, you realize that people that you think you love them or you marry them for specific material reasons or physical reasons, for your sexual needs, emotional needs, your loneliness, for all these things that is earthbound that makes you physical. The only time those who get lucky in their marriage could have probably over time through wisdom started operating from the heart. There is ways you can still operate from the heart that you are not spiritually awoke because of your goodness. You know, your energy, your vibration rises to a point sometimes, but it's almost rare. But you also have to understand that the physical body has its own mind, okay? And this mind is also very intelligent. It can create so many things for you. You can do so much with this power of the physical being if you are in charge of it. You know, sometimes people are like, I'm strong-minded. I can do whatever I want. I'm powerful. You see people with courage. They are doing well and stuff like that. They keep testing the power of their mind. And just that power, if you can just harness a little bit, you can work out and lose weight and look fit and have your six-pack, and you're testing your mind, right? You can see how powerful you can be. And you know, look at the world that we live in. If majority of the people in this universe have created all that we live in till now, and most of them were not spiritually inclined, and look at what we have now, and it blows our mind, and we keep blowing each other's mind with the power of our what? Physical mind and our physical essence. Imagine spiritually getting awoke and meeting, and your soul coming to meet this physical power, and what a human being can possibly do after that. Then it becomes what? Psychic. It becomes supernatural phenomenon. It becomes otherworldly, and people can't even fathom what to say. They're like, oh my God, I'm so scared of spirit. Oh, she's so powerful. Oh, she has connection to the spirit guides and all that stuff. What can spiritual people really do? They can become something that cannot be explained. Because what is spirituality connecting to physical or your person? It is that soul in which the spirit of this universe lives in. A part or a piece of that divine is inside this soul. So if that little piece is inside you, it makes you a part of this universe. It makes you infinite. You never die. You have always been. So your powers cannot be tapped into. You cannot even begin to fathom the kind of things you can do when your soul meets your physical being. Now don't get me wrong. I want to state this clearly. 99% of humanity who are not spiritually awoke are soulless beings. Their soul is not merged with this physical being. They are functioning off their physical abilities and human abilities. There's nothing supernatural going on here. So they die, they reincarnate, they keep coming back. You can have all the life paths you want, but you can very much have all the life path that has nothing to do with spirituality. You just keep coming back because you don't have a purpose for your soul. So your soul has not met you yet. You have not risen to the point where your soul can meet you. And a lot of times when you master your solar plexus and you do all the greatest things that you've always wanted to do, and you know, a lot of rich people tend to become, you know, spiritual in the end, or you know, they start to look for something above physical, you know, pleasure and all the things they thought they wanted. Then the soul can probably meet you and you can start looking into higher forms of things like Einstein and all these, you know, spiritual teachers and everything that I can think of, you know. But a lot of times it is because they've outlived the physical pleasures and the physical desires and demands of what the physical human being wants. Okay, then they can move on to other things. So a lot of times this also starts to affect spiritual people. When they become spiritually awoke, they start to not care so much about the physical needs, and that is why there's poverty in among spiritual community. A lot of spiritual people are poor because I feel like the soul has left that aspect. You are done with it. Either you gained it and you got tired of it and you're like, okay, what is there? What is this? This doesn't do anything for me anymore. I need something higher. I need something supernatural. I need something powerful. I want to connect. I want to know more. I want to do what I want to do. Either that happens to you, or you just naturally just denounce it out of tiredness of fighting for something that you start to realize that it's not real, and it's not lasting, and it's not fulfilling to you. So there are, you know, different ways that people meet their soul. But, you know, literally, most people don't have their soul. They are not functioning from their soul's perspective. They are not using that higher aspect. Divine is not met you yet. You can't connect on that higher vibrational level yet. So yes, you can meet any deities. Yes, you cannot understand your ancestors. Yes, you have no spiritual opening and connection because you are functioning solely on the physical plane. And there are entities on this physical plane. There are higher aspects, deities, ancestors, spirit beings that are on this plane that will help you to do amazing things, that can help you to become the super physical being. And sometimes people can get eluded and delusional about thinking that that means that, you know, they are superpower, but they are actually have not met their spirit yet. So that is one of the things that we need to understand here, so we don't get confused. Until you start meditating 24/7, focusing on your higher chakras, visualizing, doing your mantras, talking to your soul and drawing your soul to you, and actually starting to experience the spiritual connection with your soul, you have not been affected by spirit. And yet I can put you in the car as a passenger. You are not driving the car yet, and that is chaotic right there. Why do you think 99% of people live in anxiety and fear? If you're not in the driver's seat, watch how you behave when somebody's driving. You are sort of powerless. It takes a lot for you to trust the driver. The driver can do anything. Your life is literally in the driver's hands. Who holds your life right now if you're not spiritually aligned with your soul? Who is driving your car? Who's driving life? Are you waiting? What are you waiting on? Before I continue, I want to talk a little bit about religion. and the reason why I personally feel like religion kept me waiting for Jesus to come and take the seat for me, or anybody else to take the seat for me, which still puts me out of control, which still puts me not in charge of myself, and anything is liable to happen, and I'm supposed to accept the way the driver drives or whoever it is that I'm waiting on or worshiping or doing anything. And so because of that single thing, I felt like it didn't make any sense for me to not even read the Bible. You cannot follow something that you don't understand deeply, that you don't speak to, that you don't connect to, that you don't feel the presence. And to me, that is what I felt like. I felt like it didn't add up. It didn't make sense. It didn't make me feel like I understood who I even was. I felt like I wasn't even smart, and I wasn't even using my mental abilities to my fullest potential. Because one time I remember sitting in class and the teacher was talking about how human beings don't even use a certain, like 99% or something like that percentage of our brains we're not even tapping into. So I started like, what? So I don't even know what I'm capable of. I don't even know how smart I can be. I don't know what my mind can do. And that all was part of me starting to read different books and starting to explore, starting to, open my mind to different lectures that are non-Christian based, that are not religion based. Because I felt like the answers lied in me researching and trying to find out who I was. And that was the beginning. Then my spiritual teacher showed up. So I called that teacher my Jesus. Because to me, I felt like this man showed me what I needed to know about who I am as a person, and my dynasty and my bloodline and my ancestral stuff and my Egyptian background and everything about me. So to me, that was my savior. Because once he started talking about all these messages and all this information and all this stuff that we are astrology, numerology, chakra system and all that, I was like, and I'd come to find out, I was glued to it. I've always wanted to know. I knew I couldn't go with the flow. I mean, I started having spiritual experiences at the age of 5. So in a way, it's like as a life path 9, I've done this over and over and over and over, and I was already on a spiritual path, because once I started doing spiritual things to connect with my spirit, it happened to me like this. And that's another way you're going to find out that you're not a newbie. You're an old soul. You've been doing this for a minute. So spirituality and your personality, how it affects you, it affects your mind. You start to use all of its abilities to the highest level. You come back, you open up more mental space. You come back, you open up more mental space until you reach to the highest form. Then you become one with this divine, enlightened, where you can choose to be physical or not. So opening up of the mind space and developing all these abilities and skills and things that is connected to your spirituality or to your spirit being is part of the process. Physically, there may not be so many changes, that everybody can see. But what I realized that happened to me was the way I dressed changed. I remember when I went through my spiritual awakening, I started to feel shy when I wore short things. I mean, over time, I got over it. But during the heat of it, I was like, oh, I can't wear that. I cannot attract people sexually. I realized that it was a lower chakra and it was a lower way of functioning, that I didn't need to do that to feel beautiful. I didn't need to do that to attract anybody, because that was what I was doing. I cannot wear leggings with my behind and everything showing and not expect a man to blow their horn at me when I'm already saying, hey, come get me, by me showing them everything that is what attracting them. So I started to see the role that I was playing in the things that I was attracting to myself. So that affected me personally on the way I dress. I also became, you know, less concerned about pleasing people with my appearance. I wanted to always look elegant, royal, respectful, clean. I didn't want to allow myself to go. I didn't want to look unnatural most of the time. It took me a while to get used to wearing eyelashes, courtesy of my teenage daughter. So, you know, spirituality just transformed me on a physical level in those ways. I didn't want to eat meat. I became vegan for a while. Then I went to vegetarianism, and then after a while I realized that the extremes didn't work for me. So I now found a balance where I eat bits of everything and nothing extreme, and that has worked for me. I mean, I test myself before spiritual awakening. I worked out very well. I was a college student and I looked really fit. I had all my six-pack going and everything. After my spiritual awakening, I was like, okay, I can do it, but I don't have to kill myself for it. I became very comfortable and respected myself in however shape I was in. I didn't have this inferiority complex of pleasing anybody or fitting in any physical appearance. Right now I'm working on myself because I just had a baby and I want to look a certain size and stuff like that. But it is not ruling me. It is not controlling me like it did before spiritual awakening. I live my life on my terms on a physical level. I look however way I want to look without being scared of people looking at me a certain way. And if I choose to wear shorts and show my legs, I understand what it could bring to me. So then I prepare my mind for it. So at this point, looking at my physical appearance and my spirituality, it has merged in a very beautiful way where I'm in charge. And I'm comfortable with every aspect of my being. And I know that this is just the vehicle also that my soul lives in. That this higher aspect of me comes through, and my ancestors' blood and everything running through me. The deities that are my ancestors, they all can live through me. So that also puts me in check where I can just allow myself to look a certain way also in a way. Because I have to respect this body because it's a temple of beings, not just me. A temple of beings, including the divine essence, very divine essence living in me because of the spiritual awakening, my soul is in me in this lifetime as well. So you start to respect this body, and you can't get caught up in plastic surgery, not loving the way you look. Your concept of beauty changes. You realize that it's not about any thin nose and whatever face you think you're supposed to look. It's not about the straight hairs and looking European and Lord have mercy. So it restores respect in you, dignity, knowledge of self, connection to your soul and to divine and all that is. So how does spirituality affect you on all levels? It would take forever for me to explain this. I am still uncovering. Everybody's uncovering. Because that question can only be answered through experience and life. And one of the things that spirituality will do for you, and as my last note to everyone, is that you are going to become very practical in your practice. Every ability, you're going to have to practice it and do it daily and master it. Just like you going to school and mastering a trade or a skill. If you learn it in a theory, you would never really grasp it until you actually get the job in the practice, right? So is spirituality. Spirituality on your person has to be practiced. Every skill, every level to your awakening, every level to your growth, every level to your appearance, every level to the person that you are uncovering and returning and joining and infusing yourself to be, It's all about you practicing what you're learning and what Spirit is showing you in all levels. All your gifts will start unwrapping itself to you through different awakening and initiations. And don't get mistaken thinking that your awakening will happen one time. In one lifetime, you can go through so many spiritual ascensions, depending on how rapid you are practicing and growing spiritually and developing your skills and connecting with your soul. There is so much that can happen in one lifetime. So don't make the mistake of thinking that spirituality is the easy way of you not easy way out for you to become a rebellious person, not going with the flow, or not going with what everybody else is doing, and you standing out and you feeling like that is all so cool because you don't do what everybody else do. It is intensive work of true connection through meditation. I don't play. Meditation is the shortest, quickest, fastest way to opening you up spiritually. A lot of us have different ways of doing it, but I'm telling you, I did it all. But until I started meditating, that's when stuff started really happening on so many levels, where I can literally see that I was in a whole different dimension. So nobody's gonna do the reading for you. Nobody's going to come and put spiritual gifts inside your hands. No angel is going to come and tap on any door for you. You are going to have to show the initiative, talk to your spirits, your ancestors, and start a process that starts opening your blood and changing your DNA and raising your vibration to different levels through practice, spiritual practice, and constant physical activities. Yoga, intuitive training, tarot reading, channeling through writing, candle work, gazing into the fire, talking to animals, waiting for response, talking to your mind before you go to sleep, practicing dreaming, and you going into astral world, astral projecting, questioning yourself and listening to your dreams, doing things that allows you to start dreaming so you can have a way to connect with your soul. Being bold and courageous enough to start talking to your own soul. Look in the mirror and start talking. Call on your spirit guides and your angels to help you. It is work. The pastor won't do it. Your grand ancestors and whatever, they're not going to do it. You have to start that path so that your whole person can transform and change. So spirituality is a powerful path that allows you to understand life. It allows you to become supernatural being and yet physical. It allows you to accept yourself and see the universe and start understanding the connection in this universe and how it came to be, and knowledge of all things will start opening up to you. And you can do that not through nobody, not through no savior, because once you meditate and you wake up spiritually and open your third eye, especially your third eye, your heart chakra, starting from your heart chakra up, that is the coming of the Christ energy. That is the coming of your soul coming into your body and helping you to grow. So you can be one with divine and be that deity that you are. Be that God essence that you are. Then you can have the answers and talk to your own angels. And ask your angels questions. And there will be nobody there to be the mediator for you. You are the mediator now. Your soul becomes the Christ that you're waiting for. So you're going to meet your higher self. You are going to meet your spirit guides. You're going to meet your ancestors. You open the door. No church, no other human being can do that for you but you. So that's all that I have to say to you guys when it comes to spirituality and how it affects you personally. That's it. We'll have another conversation with you guys soon on a different topic. I cannot cover everything, but I hope I said things that those of you found this video will find very useful and use to your advantage, or even agree with me because you experience it. Because nobody else will understand you unless they've been through what you've been through a lot of times, and can even meet you halfway. When you start a sentence, they finish it for you. Then you realize that truly they are on a spiritual path with you. So I hope it resonates with you guys, opens up some of you, and allows you to see what you need to see and hear what you need to hear, and that I'm channeling and saying what you must hear at this time. Thank you guys so much. Peace be unto you all. So much love. So much love for you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright? Bye.